The rain-slicked streets of Seattle gleamed under the sodium lamps as I slammed the car door, my heart pounding like it had that summer night 10 years ago when Alex disappeared without a word. I'd come back to this godforsaken town for my grandmother's funeral, not to unearth ghosts. But there he was, leaning against the old oak tree in Pioneer Square, cigarette dangling from his lips, eyes locking onto mine like he'd been waiting my whole life to say sorry. In that split second, every buried feeling I'd stuffed into a box labeled "Never Again" cracked wide open, and I hated how much I still wanted to run to him. I froze on the sidewalk, the chill November wind whipping through my coat like it was trying to push me forward or back. I couldn't tell which. Alex straightened up, flicking the cigarette away with a casual flick that didn't match the storm brewing in his hazel eyes. "Jamie," he said, voice rougher than I remembered, laced with that Pacific Northwest drawl we'd both lost when life pulled us in different directions. He took a step closer, and the world narrowed to just us, the way it always had. We'd been inseparable as kids, growing up in this rainy corner of Washington state where the evergreens whispered secrets and the sound crashed against the shore like unspoken truths. Alex was the wild one, with his infectious laugh and the way he dragged me on midnight bike rides down to Alki Beach, daring me to skinny dip in the freezing water just to see if we'd get caught. I was the steady one, the kid with the sketchbook always tucked under my arm, drawing him mid-laugh or silhouetted against the sunset, capturing moments I knew deep down were too fragile to last. By 13, I realized it wasn't just friendship twisting in my gut when he slung an arm around my shoulders. It was something sharper, something that made my palms sweat and my words tangle. High school hit like a freight train. Alex got taller, broader, the kind of handsome that turned heads in the hallways of Roosevelt High. Girls flirted. He flirted back, but late at night, when we'd crash on my bedroom floor with sleeping bags zipped together for warmth, his hand would brush mine, lingering a beat too long. We'd talk about everything, his parents' endless fights echoing through the thin walls of his trailer, my mom's quiet unraveling after Dad left for good, the way the world felt too small for dreams bigger than this town. But we never named it. Not until that summer after junior year. It was the bonfire party at Golden Gardens, the air thick with salt and smoke, bottles clinking under the stars. We'd snuck away from the crowd, hearts racing from stolen sips of cheap beer, and ended up on a driftwood log, shoulders touching. "What if we just left?" Alex murmured, staring out at the black water. "You and me. Road trip to anywhere but here." His fingers traced patterns in the sand between us, and when I turned, his eyes were on my lips. The kiss happened fast, tentative, then desperate, tasting of salt and possibility. For one perfect night, the world made sense. But mornings bring regrets in small towns. By dawn, Alex was gone from the beach, and when I showed up at his trailer that afternoon, his mom said he'd run off with some cousins to California for the summer. Weeks turned to months. Letters I sent came back unopened. Phone calls went to voicemail that never filled. Senior year dragged on without him, and I buried the ache in art classes and a tentative coming out to a counselor who nodded sympathetically but warned me about complications. I graduated, packed a duffel, and fled to Seattle proper for community college, then a graphic design gig that kept me scraping by in a tiny Capitol Hill apartment. I dated, a barista with tattoos, a quiet librarian, but no one stuck because no one was Alex. Now, at 27, standing in the shadow of that oak tree where we'd carved our initials as kids, J&A forever, hearts and all, I felt the years crash back. "What the hell are you doing here?" I managed, voice cracking despite my best efforts. He ran a hand through his damp hair, rain beating on his lashes. "Heard about your grandma. Figured you'd come back. I had to see you." His gaze dropped to the ground, then up again, raw. "Jamie, I'm sorry. For everything. Sorry didn't cut it. Not for the silence, the ghosting, the way I'd replayed that kiss 1,000 times until it warped into something ugly. 10 years, Alex. 10 years, and you show up like this? My life's not a pit stop." "I know." He stepped closer, close enough I could smell the faint tobacco and pine soap that was pure him. "But losing you? That was the worst mistake I ever made. Let me explain. Please." I wanted to walk away, to hail a cab back to the airport and leave this town. And him, in the rear view. but my feet wouldn't move. Coffee, I said finally, nodding toward the all-night diner across the square. You buy? And it better be good. The diner was a relic, formica counters chipped and booths sagging under decades of heartbroken conversations. We slid into one by the window, rain pattering against the glass like impatient fingers. Alex ordered black coffee. I stuck with tea, hands wrapped around the mug for warmth I didn't feel inside. He started slow, voice low. After that night, panic had clawed at him. His dad, a burly mill worker with a temper and zero tolerance for that queer shit, had walked in on them once. Alex shirtless after a sleepover, me too close. Nothing happened, but the suspicion hung like fog. I thought if I stayed, I'd ruin you, Alex said, stirring sugar he didn't need. You were out, Jamie, brave as hell. Me? I was terrified. So I bolted to LA, crashed with my aunt, got a job slinging burgers. Tried to be straight, dated girls, the whole denial drill. I sipped my tea, bitter on my tongue. And it worked. He laughed, short and hollow. Like hell. I fell apart. Bounced around. Waiter in San Francisco, bar back in Portland. Kept tabs on you through mutual friends on Facebook. Saw you thriving, designing those album covers, coming out louder. Made me proud. And gutted me. Proud. The word landed soft, but it stirred something. I'd built a life in Seattle. Friends at the local queer center. A roommate named Riley who dragged me to pride parades. A career that paid the bills if I skipped lattes. But the whole Alex left? It echoed. Then why now? I pressed. Funeral's tomorrow. You could have mailed a card. Because seeing your post about her. It hit me. Life's too short for more regrets. His eyes met mine, steady. And because I love you, Jamie. Always have. That night wasn't a fluke. It was the truest thing I've ever felt. The words hung there, steam rising from our drinks. Love. We'd skirted it as kids, but hearing it now, in this greasy spoon with Patsy Cline crooning from the jukebox, it felt like a balm. I wanted to believe him, but trust was a muscle I'd let atrophy. Prove it, I whispered, not sure if I meant it. He nodded, like he'd expected the challenge. Stay through the weekend. Let me help with the arrangements. Be there for you. No pressure. Just us, like old times. Old times. Dangerous territory. But as we left the diner, his shoulder brushing mine under the shared umbrella, I felt the pull. Maybe closure. Maybe more. Either way, the weekend stretched ahead like uncharted road. Back at Grandma's creaky Victorian on Queen and Hill, the house smelled of mothballs and lavender, her signature. I'd inherited it, a crumbling beauty with views of the Sound that made forgetting the world possible. Alex followed me in, shedding his wet jacket, revealing a faded band tee that hugged his frame in ways that tested my resolve. We spent the evening sorting photos, the kind that captured us at 8, gap-toothed grins at the county fair, at 12, awkward limbs on the soccer field. Laughter bubbled up despite the grief, his stories filling gaps I'd imagined worse. Remember when we tried to build that treehouse and it collapsed on Mr. Hargrove's prize roses? He chuckled, holding up a snapshot. Yeah. And you took the blame so I wouldn't get grounded. I paused, the memory sweet but edged. You always did that, protected me. His smile faded. Wished I could have protected us from me running. The vulnerability cracked me open. Grandma's funeral was set for noon, but sleep evaded us. We ended up on the porch swing, wrapped in her Afghan, stars pricking the cloudy sky. Talk turned deeper, his years adrift, hookups that meant nothing. A coming out to his sister that ended in tears and acceptance. She's the only family I got now, he admitted. Dad disowned me last year when I finally told him. My chest tightened. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's freeing. He shifted, our knees touching. What about you? That guy in your pics, Evan. Ex moved to New York for a job. We were comfortable. Not this. I gestured vaguely, heart hammering. Silence stretched, charged. Then soft. I missed this. Us. Me too. The admission slipped out, and before I could retreat, his hand found mine under the blanket. Warm, calloused from years of odd jobs. We didn't speak, just sat, the swing creaking like a heartbeat. Morning brought the service, a small affair at the waterfront chapel. Friends from town murmured condolences. Alex stood sentinel at my side, his presence a quiet anchor. As we lowered the urn into the earth overlooking Elliott Bay, waves whispering below, I realized how alone I'd felt without him these years. Afterward, at the wake in the house, neighbors gossiped. Old Mrs. Patel eyeing us with that knowing squint. Heard Alex is back. Childhood sweethearts, eh? I choked on my punch. Sweethearts. The word ignited whispers, a ripple of judgment from the Bible thumpers in the back. Alex caught my eye across the room, mouthing, "You okay?" Later, alone in the kitchen washing dishes, he cornered me gently. "They're talking. Ignore it." Easier said. I scrubbed harder. This town chews up different. Remember Tommy Ruiz? Beat half to death for holding his boyfriend's hand at prom. Alex's jaw set. "Yeah, that's why I ran. Didn't want that for you. But you left me to face it alone." The words lashed out, sharper than intended. He flinched. "I know. God, Jamie, I know." Tension coiled, the air thick. Then his phone buzzed. His sister, calling from LA. He stepped out, voice low on the porch. I eavesdropped despite myself. Yeah, it's him. Feels like a second chance. No, not pushing. But damn, Lena, it's real. Real. The word echoed as I dried my hands, resolve wavering. That night, we crashed in separate rooms. Guest for him, mine for me. But sleep brought dreams of that beach, his lips on mine, waking me sweat-damp and aching. Saturday dawned crisp, the kind of fall day that begged for escape. "Let's get out," Alex suggested over breakfast, eyes bright. "Drive up to Hurricane Ridge. Clear your head." I agreed, needing distance from the house's ghosts. The winding road to Olympic National Park twisted through forests ablaze in autumn golds, radio humming indie folk that spoke of lost loves reclaimed. We talked easy at first, favorite bands, bad tattoos. But as the mountain loomed, truth surfaced. "I wrote you letters," he confessed, gripping the wheel. "Burned them all. Too scared to send." "Show me one." Half joking. He pulled over at a viewpoint, overlooking valleys shrouded in mist. From his glove box, a crumpled notebook, pages filled with scrawled pleas. "Jamie, every day without you is gray." I was a coward. I read silently, throat tight. "Why burn them?" I asked, handing it back. "Fear. Of what it meant. Of dragging you down." His voice broke. "But seeing you now, strong, unapologetic, it makes me want to be better." The overlook was empty, wind rustling pines. I set the notebook aside, turned to him. "You already are. Just by being here." Our eyes locked, and the space between us vanished. Not a kiss. Not yet. But a hug, fierce and lingering, his chin on my shoulder, breath warm against my neck. "Thank you," he murmured. Back on the road, lighter, we hit the ridge trail. Snow-dusted peaks glittered under blue sky, the world vast and forgiving. At the summit, breathless, we shared a thermos of coffee, shoulders pressed. "What now?" I asked, the question hanging. "Now? We figure it out. Together." His hand covered mine, thumb tracing circles. Promise in the touch. But small towns breed complications. That evening, back in Seattle, my phone lit up. Riley, my roommate, texting. Town gossip reaching the city. "You okay? That Alex guy. Drama." I showed Alex, who groaned. "Knew it. My ex from Portland's in town. Saw him at the market yesterday. Jake. He's persistent." Ex. The word stung irrationally. Persistent how? Called last week. Wants to catch up. But it's bullshit. He cheated, left me wrecked. Jealousy flickered, unfamiliar. Tell him off. Alex smirked. Protective already? Maybe. We laughed, but unease lingered. Sunday brunch at a Capitol Hill cafe turned ambush. Jake appeared, all slick charm and designer stubble, sliding into our booth uninvited. "Alex, babe. Who's the friend?" Tension spiked. Alex stiffened. "Jake. This is Jamie. Old friend." "Friend." Jake's eyes raked me, dismissive. "Heard you're back in the closet drama. Cute. Leave," Alex said, voice steel. But Jake leaned in, whispering loud enough. "You always run back to safety. This one's probably straight curious anyway." I snapped. "Get out before I make you." My fist clenched. Alex's hand on my arm steadied me. Jake left smirking, but the damage festered. In the car, silence heavy. "He's wrong," Alex said finally. "About everything." "I know." But doubt wormed in. Years of abandonment. Now this echo of toxicity. That night, Packing for my flight. Confrontation brewed. Are you staying? I asked, folding shirts. Thought I would. If you'll have me. The vulnerability hit. I crossed the room, cupped his face. I want to. But trust. It's earned. He nodded. Eyes searching. Then let me earn it. Start over. Date me, Jamie. Properly. Heart thundering, I leaned in. Our lips met, soft, exploratory, a decade's worth of what-ifs in one breath. It deepened, hands in hair, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces. We broke apart gasping, foreheads touching. Okay, I whispered. Let's try. But as dawn broke, another ghost arrived. A letter from Grandma's attorney slipped under the door. Unopened will addendum. A codicil naming Alex as co-beneficiary of the house, contingent on reconciling old bonds. Her doing, meddling even from beyond. Shock rippled. She knew. Alex breathed. Always did. Laughter bubbled, absurd. Yet it bound us tighter, fate's nudge. As I boarded the plane, his kiss goodbye lingered. Call me when you land. I will. Seattle faded below, but for the first time, the future gleamed. Weeks blurred into a rhythm I hadn't known I craved. Late-night calls where Alex's voice wrapped around me like fog off the sound, texts peppered with inside jokes from our Polaroid-stashed youth. I dove back into work, tweaking logos for a queer-owned coffee roaster, but my sketches now bled with new life. Silhouettes of two figures against mountain vistas, hands intertwined under starlight. Riley noticed, arching a brow over her morning smoothie. Spill. That small-town hottie got you glowing. I shrugged, cheeks warm. Maybe. It's complicated. Complicated's code for terrified, she teased, but her hug said she got it. Riley had been my rock through Evan's ghosting. Our apartment a sanctuary of rainbow flags and half-burnt candles from failed spells to summon better luck. Alex drove up most weekends, his beat-up Ford rattling into my street like a prodigal son. We'd wander Pike Place, dodging tourists while he haggled for fresh salmon, or hole up in my studio, him sprawled on the futon critiquing my designs with that artist he'd hidden under busboy aprons. This line's too straight, he'd say, finger tracing the screen, then my arm, blurring critique into caress. Intimacy built slow, deliberate, no rush to bedsheets, just stolen moments. His head on my lap during movie marathons, fingers combing his hair, shared showers after hikes, soap-slick laughs over who hogged the hot water. It felt sacred, this rebuilding. But shadows lurked. Thanksgiving loomed, and with it, the house on Queen Anne. Come down, I invited, nerves jangling. Meet the family. Well, the stragglers. He hesitated on the line. Your aunt's the one who called me a phase back in high school. Yeah, but water under the bridge. Mostly. The drive south was quiet, his hand on my thigh a steady anchor. Aunt Clara's spread was potluck chaos. Turkey dry as regret, pies from the bakery, cousins quizzing us like we'd announced a coup. So, Alex, she said over cranberry sauce, eyes sharp behind bifocals. Reformed wanderer now? Jamie deserves stable. I bristled, fork pausing. Alex squeezed my knee under the table. Ma'am, stability's what I'm building. With him. She hummed, unconvinced, but let it drop. Later, washing up, she cornered me. He's got baggage, kiddo. That disappearing act? Screams runner. He's changed, I defended, suds bubbling. People don't change easy. Her pat on my shoulder was almost kind. Almost. That night, in Grandma's old room, doubts gnawed as we lay tangled under quilts. She's right, Alex murmured into my neck. I did run. But you're here now. I tilted his chin up, kissing the furrow between his brows. That's what counts. Sleep came fitful, dreams of empty highways and vanishing taillights. Morning brought relief. Walks along the locks, salmon leaping like escaped wishes, his stories of LA hustles lightening the load. Back in the city, momentum built. We planned a joint art show, my graphics, his rough-hewn wood carvings he'd started in Portland basements. Themes of return, he pitched, eyes alight. What we left, what we reclaim. Excitement fizzed, but Jake's specter resurfaced. A mutual friend texted Alex, saw your ex at a bar. Asking about you. Weird vibes. Block him. I urged over takeout faux, chopsticks clacking. Done. But unease simmered. Jake emailed me. How he got my address. God knows, a oily missive. Heard you're the new toy. Careful, Alex breaks pretty things. Rage boiled. I forwarded it to Alex, who cursed, phone slamming down. He's trying to sabotage. Old habit. Why me? Why now? Because he knows you're real. Alex pulled me close, lips brushing my temple. And he's poison. We reported it, a paper trail for peace. But the seed planted, what if Jake wasn't wrong? What if Alex's past was a loop I couldn't break? December snow dusted the streets, turning Seattle into a postcard of twinkling lights and bundled couples. Our first holiday together, tree trimming in my apartment, ornaments from thrift shops clinking like toasts. He hung the star crooked. I fixed it, our laughter echoing. This is us, he said, arms around my waist from behind. Imperfect, but standing. Pride swelled, but family fractures widened. His sister Lena flew in, a whirlwind of curls and compassion, hugging me like kin. He talks about you nonstop, she confided over eggnog. Says you're his North Star. Blush crept, but her next words chilled. Just watch for the pull. Wanderlust's in his blood. Dad sighed. I nodded, forcing smile. Alex caught the tail, brow furrowing. What? Nothing. Sisters being sisters. Christmas Eve, we escaped to the house, fire crackling, stockings stuffed with silly gifts, vintage comics for him, a carved keychain of our initials for me. Curled on the rug, his heartbeat under my ear, I whispered, love you. Love you more. The words sealed something fragile. But New Year's brought the storm. A call from town, vandalism at the house. Spray paint slurs on the garage, fags out, tires slashed on my rental. Police shrugged. Hate crime, but no leads. Happens. Alex arrived furious, scrubbing paint with me in the sleet. This town's rotting. It's us thereafter, I said, hands raw. Visible. He dropped the brush, pulling me into the cold. Then we fight. Together. Resolution hardened us, but cracks showed. That night, packing, he paced. Maybe sell the place. Start fresh, somewhere neutral. Like where? Panic edged my voice. Anywhere. Portland. Or, stay here. Uncertainty flickered. The drive back was tense, radio filling voids. At my door, goodbye kiss turned urgent, hands roaming shirts, breaths mingling. Stay, I begged. Can't. Work. But his eyes said more, fear of failing. January thawed the snow, but not the chill. Distance gnawed, calls shortened, excuses piled. Shifts doubled, he'd say. I buried in deadlines, but sketches darkened, solo figures in fog. Riley staged intervention over wine. He's pulling away. Talk. I did, voicemail. What's wrong? Don't vanish again. Reply. Not vanishing. Just. Processing. Processing. Code for retreat. Heart sinking. I drove south unannounced. House dark. Panic clawed. Note on counter. Needed space. Back soon. Love you. Space. The word echoed his old sins. I crashed there, sleep evading, memories mocking. Dawn brought him, eyes red-rimmed, duffel slung. Jamie. Don't. I stood, arms crossed. Space? After everything. Jake showed up. At my job. Threats. Said he'd out me to old contacts. Ruin the show. Voice cracked. I didn't want it touching you. Idiot. Tears stung. We face it together, remember? He dropped the bag, crossing to me. I know. I'm scared. Of losing you for good. Then stop running. I pulled him down. Kiss fierce, absolving. We mended slow, therapy apps downloaded, boundaries drawn. The show loomed, February gallery night, nerves electric. Prep consumed us. Late nights framing, labeling, his carvings beside my prints like intertwined souls. Opening night, crowd buzzed, friends, critics, Lena beaming. Jake lurked in shadows, but security ushered him out. A reviewer paused at our joint piece, a carved oak entwined with inked vines. Raw, like reclaiming roots. Sold out. Champagne flowed, toasts rang. In the alley after, under streetlight, Alex knelt. Not proposal, but promise. I'm all in. No more ghosts. Tears mixed with rain. Me too. Spring bloomed, tentative. We shuttled between cities, house renovations a project of sweat and stories. Aunt Clara softened, bringing pie unprompted. Saw the article. Proud. But summer heat brewed new tempests. A job offer for me. New York, big firm, dream gig. Go. Alex urged, but I shadowed. I'll follow. Or we both go. Counteroffer. Hesitation. My roots. The house. Conflict simmered, unspoken. Weekend at the beach. Alki, full circle. Bonfire crackled, waves lapping. Remember? He asked, arm around me. Always. But future loomed. Argument erupted over Esmores. You're clipping wings again, I accused. No, protecting what we have. Voice rose. Waves drowned words, but hurt lingered. Drive home silent, miles stretching riffs. Back in Seattle, space again, voluntary this time. Call civil but cool. Riley hosted girls' night. Her girlfriend Sam included, laughs healing. Men, Sam scoffed. Complicate simple. Across town, Alex confided in Lena, texts I glimpsed later. Fucking it up. Again. Culmination crashed mid-July. His birthday. I planned surprise. Dinner at our diner, road trip tease. But he canceled. Family emergency. Dad's sick. Dad. The dissowner. Guilt twisted, his pain mine. I went anyway, diner empty, waitress pitying. Phone buzzed, sorry. Portland. Come. Impulsive, I drove, arriving dawn, his motel door ajar. Inside, not emergency, but Jake, bruises fresh, Alex wild-eyed. He attacked. Lied about Dad to lure me. Fury blazed. Police again, statements overlapping. Jake arrested, stalking charges stuck. In the aftermath, hospital wait for Alex's split lip, I held his hand. No more alone. Promise. Weak smile. Recovery bonded us deeper. His dad's actual call days later, gruff apology. Heard. Be good to my boy. Miracle. Forgiveness slow, but starting. By fall, New York decision crystallized. Remote hybrid. A splitting time. House rented, Seattle anchor. 1 year on, anniversary at the oak tree. Carvings faded but enduring. To us, he toasted with coffee. To never vanishing. Kiss under leaves, world right. Yet life twists. Winter brought Lena's news. Pregnant, needing help. Move closer, she asked. Pull south. Again. Debate raged. My career north, his family south. Compromise, I pushed. Telecommute more. But resentment brewed. Holiday split. Me Seattle, him LA distance yawned. New Year's alone, ball drop mocking. Text. Miss you. Miss you more. January storm. Blizzard strands him, calls frantic. Stuck. Thinking. Maybe end it. For your sake. No. Heart shattered. Fight, damn it. He did. Shoveled out. Drove through whiteout. Arrived soaked. Declaration. Won't lose you. We'll make it work. Therapy joint now. Unpacking layers. His fear of abandonment. Dad's shadow. Mine of repetition. Ghosts past. Spring renewal. Joint move to Portland compromise. Gallery their scouting space. Aunt Clara visits. Approves. Roots shift. Good. Summer festival. Pride. Rainbows riot. We march. Hands linked. Jake's trial win closure. By the oak. Second anniversary. Forever, he asks. Forever. Echoing youth. Life unfolds. Unscripted, but ours. Portland embraced us like an old flame. Gritty edges softened by rose gardens and craft breweries that dotted the bridges like jewels on the Willamette. We leased a loft in the Pearl District, exposed brick and skylights framing our chaos. My drafting table piled with client mocks, his workbench scarred from lathe kisses. Mornings started tangled in 400 thread sheets, coffee brewing to the hum of streetcars below, his lazy grin over mugs saying what words sometimes fumbled. The gallery gig panned out, a co-op space called Echoes, walls hungry for our Reclamation Series redux. Opening drew locals, hipsters in flannel, elders with canes nodding at themes of queer endurance. A buyer snapped up Alex's oak heart, hollowed, inked vines spilling from the core. It's us, I whispered later, corkage in hand. But equilibrium's a myth. Lena's baby arrived screaming in August, a boy named Theo with her curls and Alex's hazel stare. We drove down weekly, diapers and midnight feeds turning us uncles by proxy. Your naturals, she cooed, exhausted bliss. Watching Alex cradle the tiny fist, something shifted, yearning in his eyes, unspoken. Ever think about it? He asked one drive home, wipers slapping rain. Kids? Yeah, Surrogate, maybe. Adoption. Casual. Testing. He nodded, throat working. With you? Hell yes. Seed planted, but roots tangled elsewhere. My New York firm pushed for office days. Team synergy. They called it. Code for visibility. Commutes lengthened. Calls clipped. Missed the loft. I'd gripe, collapsing beside him. Miss you more. Kiss, but fatigue shadowed. Fall foliage turned fiery, mirroring tempers. Aunt Clara's birthday bash in Seattle devolved. Wine flowing, tongues loose. Uncle Ray, beer in fist, cornered Alex. Heard you're playing house. But real men provide. Kids, house, not this artsy drift. Alex stiffened, jaw granite. We provide for each other. Ray snorted. Fairy tale. Wake up. I intervened, voice ice, out. Now. Ejection messy, Clara apologizing tearful. Drive home seethed. He's a relic, I soothed. But echoes. Alex gripped Will white-knuckled. What if he's right? Am I enough? Stop. Pull over, roadside diner glow. You're everything. Makeup in the lot, windows fogged, whispers turning heated. Not consummation, just reaffirmation, hands mapping familiar terrain. Winter gripped Portland, holidays hybrid. Theo's first Christmas, chaos of wrapping paper and onesies, Lena's joy infectious. But Dad's health dipped, cancer whisper. Alex shuttled more, absences stretching. Go, I urged. Family first. But alone, doubts crept. Riley visited, crashing on our couch. He's retreating. Patterns. Not this time. Defiant, but sleep evaded. January revelation. Jake's appeal denied, but tabloid snippet, his tell-all blog, venom spewed. Alex's dirty secrets. Addict, cheater. Lies, but viral in queer circles. Backlash hit. Gallery whispers, client hesitations. Damage control. I pitched, PR scramble. Alex crumbled private. Tainted. Again. No. Arms around him, fierce. We're clean slate. Joint statement. Truth over trash. Support surged. Fans, friends rallying. Echoes sold out follow-up. Spring thawed literal and figurative. Surrogacy talks tentative, agencies, ethics. Our kid, he dreamed, sketches of nurseries doodled on napkins. But firm ultimatum, relocate or resign. Heart-wrench, career ladder versus us. Knights argued. Portland's home, he pleaded. Growth's north. Counter. Stalemate. Weekend escape to the coast, Cannon Beach haystack sentinel. Storm raged, us huddled in cabin. Choose us. I begged, tears saltier than sea. I am. His vow. Ring slipped on finger, simple band, ocean tumbled silver. Proposal mid-thunder. Yes. Sobs joy. Resignation tendered, freelance bloom. Portland solidified. Summer wedding small. Beachside, Theo flower boy in tiny tucks. Vows exchanged barefoot, waves applauding. Through vanishings and returns, Alex promised. Clara teared, Ray absent, his loss. Lena officiated, grin wide. Honeymoon road trip, Route 101, motels and memories. Stops at childhood haunts, laughter healing scars. Fall brought harvest. Theo's first steps toward Alex's arms. Our announcement, surrogate match found. Family, I marveled, hand on his belly flat still. But life's not linear. Dad's decline accelerated. Hospice calls pulled Alex south. Go, I echoed. Weeks blurred, me holding fort. Client wins, nursery paint swatches. Visits strained, his exhaustion palpable. Thanksgiving bedside, Dad's hand in his. Final words, proud son. Love him hard. Grief tsunami. Funeral raw, Alex shattered. He saw me. He wept, my shoulders soak. Healing. Rock I held. Winter wove us tighter, surrogate's first scan, heartbeat flutter. Hours. Spring quickened, bump visible. Kicks shared over video when he traveled for carvings commission. But gallery drama. Partner embezzling, echoes teetering. Fight or fold? I asked. Fight. Rally, loan scraped, doors stayed open. Summer birth approached, nursery ready, mobile of carved stars. But preterm scare, hospital dash, monitors beeping. Vigil, Alex pacing, me gripping hand. Strong, doctor assured. Homecoming, tiny girl, Elena, after his sister. Feedings, diapers, exhaustion euphoric. Fall deepened bonds. Walks with double stroller, Theo toddling beside. Freelance balanced parenting, his commissions rolling. One night, Elena fussing, us tag-teaming bottles. Worth every vanish, he murmured, eyes on our constellation. Every return. Kiss over crib rails. Years layered. Elena's first words, Dada, dual delight. Theo's school plays, us front row cheering. Anniversaries marked growth. Beach renewals, rings worn thin. But echoes persist. Jake's shadow fades, but new prejudices flare. School mom glaring at our pride stickers, whispers at park. We counter. Story times at library, queer reads shared. Visibility, Alex says. Winter's warm now, fireside tales of our origins. Vanishings turned victories. Spring always surprises, Elena's rainbow drawing. Two dads forever. Summer solstice, oak tree pilgrimage. Carvings renewed, JNA plus ENT forever. Fall harvest, Theo's coming out at 10, gentle, us hugging. Proud. Life cycles, losses like Lena's move east, gains like Clara's visits with grandkids. Through it, core endures, love's drama, gay-capping conflicts resolved in quiet strengths. One dawn, Portland fog lifting, Elena on hip, Theo's hand in mine, Alex beside. Ready, he asks. Always. Step forward, together. No vanishings left, only returns, infinite. The rhythm of family life in Portland settled like Willamette's silt, rich, fertile, but prone to unexpected floods. Elena's toddler tantrums echoed off loft beams, her chubby fists demanding uppy, while Theo, now a lanky 7, buried in comic stacks, occasionally surfacing with questions that pierced. Why do some kids say two dads is weird? We'd field them honest, knees bent to eye level. Alex's calm dissecting bigotry like one of his carvings. Some folks fear different. But difference magic, like you. My freelance empire grew. Pixels to billboards for queer nonprofits. Earnings funding family jaunts. Yellowstone summers. Tent flaps unzipping to geyser roars. Elena giggling at bison parades. Alex's woodwork caught artisan eyes. A Seattle museum commission. His name etched in catalogs. Pride swelled watching him sign the contract. Pen steady, no tremor of old doubts. Yet undercurrents swirled. Clara's health faltered. Hip surgery, then pneumonia whispers. Come visit, she rasped over speaker, voice thin as broth. We piled into the Ford, kids buckled, cooler stocked with her favorite Marionberries. Queen and house loomed familiar, porch swing creaking welcome. Aunt Clara, frail and armchair, lit at Elena's sticky hug. My boys, she murmured, eyes misty on us. And these miracles. Theo read her comics aloud, dramatic voices coaxing laughs. Nights, kids asleep, we'd sift old boxes, grandma's letters surfacing. Jamie dear, love finds its harbor, storms or no. Prophetic. Clara pulled Alex aside one dusk, rocker squeaking. You kept your word. Stable. Hand pat, forgiveness sealed. Return north lighter, but emails piled. Firm's old colleague offering partnership. Your vision's missed. Temptation tugged. New York's siren call. Stay rooted. Alex urged over dinner. Salmon flaking under forks. Kids chattered oblivious. Growth's not betrayal. Soft, but seed sown. Fall brought harvest festivals. Pumpkin patches where Elena crowned herself queen. Orange crown askew. But gallery hiccup. Echo's partner bailed. Rent looming. Side hustle. I suggested. He nodded, eyes distant. Maybe teach workshops. Enrollment boomed. Queer youth carving out identities, literally. Watching him guide a shy teen's chisel. Patience incarnate. Pride hitched my breath. You're a natural, I whispered post-class. Studio sawdust scented. Nah, just paying forward. Grin, but fatigue lined it. Winter gripped early, holidays hybrid again. Lena flew west with Theo's cousin. Chaos multiplying. Cookie dough fights. Tree topples. Elena's Santa two dads. Query dissolved us in giggles. But Dad's anniversary passed quiet. Alex at graveside alone, returning hollow-eyed. Missed the bastard, he admitted, bourbon neat. Missed chances. Arm around, holding space. New Year's resolution. Date nights revived. Babysitter secured. We slipped to Riverside Bistro, candle flicker dancing. Remember our first diner? He toasted. Black coffee confessions. Laughter, then serious. Proud of our chaos. Me too. Hand squeeze. Future unspoken. Spring surged. Elena's preschool play, lamb costume floppy-eared. Theo's science fair, volcano eruptive success. But Clara's decline accelerated. While readings loomed, house inheritance splitting kin. Uncle Ray contested. Not right. Queers with grandkids. Lawyer battles ensued, stress etching Alex's temples. Let it go, I counseled. Fight for legacy. Stubborn, but right. Victory bittersweet. House hours, Ray estranged. Clara's final weeks, we rotated vigils, kids drawing cards of hearts and haystacks. Her passing gentle, hand in mine, love fierce boys. Funeral pact, eulogies weaving our story into hers. She believed in returns, pastor said, eyes on us. Grief wave crashed post-burial, Alex withdrawn, shop silent. Can't carve through this, he confessed, tools idle. Then don't. Pulled him to studio floor, sketches abandoned. Feel it. Tears came, raw, scared of breaking us. Won't. Vow, bodies curling safe. Summer healed slow, beach therapy, alky sands sifting memories. Elena built drip castles, Theo surfed waves on boogie board. One eve, bonfire reignited, same beach, stars same. Full circle, Alex murmured, arm heavy. More circles ahead. Kiss, salt tanged. But firm's persistence peaked. Partnership expires soon. Email ultimatum. Confrontation brewed over ice cream cones, kids sticky-lipped. Go if it calls, he said, voice steady but eyes storm. Calls you. Counter, heart thud. Us. Balance. Wisdom won. Decision. Sabbatical, 3 months New York, family tagging for adventure. Trial run, we framed. Excitement buzzed. Empire State climbs, Central Park picnics. Elena chased pigeons, Theo marveled subways. My days networked, nights us, rooftop dinners, skyline toasts. But cracks, Alex adrift, no shop. Tourist, he grumbled, carving whittles from hotel scraps. Temp, reassure, but isolation not. Midsummer crisis, Elena fever spiked, flu, not grave. Vigil shook us. Need roots, he declared, packing early. Return Portland frantic, relief flood. Close call, doctor said. Closer, our fragility. Fall anchored, school routines, Elena's alphabet songs, Theo's soccer goals. Gallery stabilized, workshops packed. Thanksgiving potluck, friends, Lena video calling. Toasts to Clara's memory, pies piled. Winter whispered changes, Elena's questions deepening. Where's mommy? Surrogate story simplified. Grew in special tummy, born for us. Theo's crush confession, boy from class. Normal, anxious. Beautiful. Hugs, pride. New Year's Eve, loft aglow, kids slumbering. To evolutions, Alex clinked. Evolutions. Kiss, year turning. Spring bloomed careers. My hybrid role locked. His teaching tenure offered. Professor. Tease. Artisan elder. Laugh. Summer road trip south. LA detour. Lena's backyard barbecues. Theo bonded cousins. Elena splashed pools. But Ray's olive branch. Letter. Apology scrawled. Regrets. Grandkids. Alex pondered. Replied neutral. Time, he told me. Forgive slow. Nod. Fall harvest. Elena's first school day. Backpack oversized. Theo's history project. Queer icons. Us beaming. Life layered. Dramas softened to daily. Scraped knees. Late fees. Love's quiet roar. One autumn dusk. Park bench. Kids chasing leaves. Vanishings behind. Alex said. Head on shoulder. Returns eternal. Handlace. Sunset gilding. Years ahead beckoned. Unscripted. Unbreakable. Adolescence ambushed like a Willamette flash flood. Swift. Muddy. Reshaping banks. Theo hit 12 with growth spurts and brooding silences. Soccer cleats traded for sketch pads. Doodles dark with teen angst. Hormones. Alex diagnosed over breakfast waffles, flipping them golden. We got this. Elena, 8 now, countered with sunshine chaos. Ballet tutus twirled through living rooms, demands for daddy dances, pulling us into pirouettes. Her questions sharpened. Why no mommy at school pickups? We'd tag team truths. Books like Two Mommies Backups, her hugs affirming acceptance. My hybrid hustle thrived. New York Zooms mornings, Portland client lunches afternoons. Alex's professorship at the community college bloomed. Syllabus stacked with queer craft history, students flocking like moths to his lathe-lit charisma. Evenings, we'd debrief over stir-fry, kids chatter interlacing adult asides. But undercurrents churned. Ray's letters persisted, holiday cards, then calls. Let him in slow, I advised, watching Alex's thumb hover over answer. First meet, neutral ground, park picnic. Ray aged, paunch softened, hair silvered, hands trembling on sandwich wrap. Missed years, he grunted, eyes on grandkids tumbling grass. Theo wary, Elena curious, Grandpa carve, pointing Alex's pocket knife. Demo followed, shavings curling, ice cracking. Healing, Alex murmured later, drive home. Winter wrapped gifts uneven. Elena's holiday pageant, sheep bleed adorable. Theo's first crush heartbreak, boy ghosted post-kiss. World sucks, he sulked, hoodie fortress. We consoled. Ice cream therapy, stories of our stumbles. Pain's teacher, Alex said, arms slung. Leads to better. Spring thawed revelations. Ray's visit proper. House tour awkward but earnest. Dinner, lasagna layers like apologies. Proud of your family, he toasted, voice rough. Tears unshed, bridge mended tentative. Summer scorched, family campout Olympics, tents pitched at Crater Lake. Elena's ghost story spooked, Theo's stargazing app odd. Bonfire confessions, Alex to Ray. Hurt deep, but water under. Ray nodded. Idiot then. Better now. Fall schooled sharper. Theo's bully brigade. Slurs scrawled on locker. Fag spawn. Report filed. Counselor looped, but rage simmered. Why us? Theo demanded, fists balled. Not us, their fear. I countered, school meeting fierce. Expulsion threat loomed. We pushed. Resolution. Assembly on inclusion. Theo's voice amplified. Changed everything. He admitted post, shoulders squaring. Elena's echo. Friendship fray. Girl's parent pulls playdates over lifestyle. Tears at dinner. Bad because daddy's love? No, ignorance. Huddle, calls to allies. New playgroup formed, stronger. Winter holidays healed. Ray hosted, table groaning turkey, stories swapped. Elena's elf antics charmed. Theo bonded over shop tools. New Year's, kids abed. Us on balcony, city lights twinkling. Surviving, Alex sighed, wine swirl. Thriving, kiss, year pivot. Spring surged careers, my TEDx invite, designs for the marginalized, nerves electric. Alex's exhibit, national buzz. But family fault line, Lena's divorce announcement, custody wars brewing. Help, she pleaded, Portland pit stop. We mediated, lawyer Rex, Theo's empathy shining. Andy strong. Elena comforted, crayon cards mailed. Summer salvaged, beach retreat, Cannon Sands restorative. Ray joined, awkward swimsuits aside, waves washing sins. Theo's 13th, bar mitzvah nod, Jewish roots from my side, ritual rich. Synagogue solemn, vows echoing ours. Fall deepened, Elena's science fair, volcano redux, girl power theme. Theo's art show, pieces raw, us critics tender. Life's drama peaked October, Ray's heart scare, yard dash. Stubborn mule, Alex joked bedside, but fear gripped. Recovery rallied us. Meal trains, kids' drawings bedside. Families glue, Ray wheezed, hand clasp. Gratitude Thanksgiving, tables merged, recipes blended. Winter whispered milestones, Elena's braces gleam, first crush butterflies, girl, fluid flags flying. Love who, she quizzed. Whoever, we chorused. Theo's dating debut, boy from art club, cinema nerves. Curfew, Alex gruffed, but wink betrayed. Spring bloomed romances, my book deal, Memoir sketches, our story veiled. Alex's sabbatical, Europe carve tour, us tagging. Summer abroad. Paris cafes, Elena's Eiffel awe, Theo's Louvre sketches. Ray's postcard, enjoy sans. But jet lag home crashed. Freelance dip, college admin grind. Fall anchored. Book launch packed. Dedications to returns. Elena's sleepover success. Theo's homecoming dance glow. One crisp eve, Oak pilgrimage. Kids tracing initials. Now plus E plus T. Legacy. Alex breathed. Endless. Embrace. Leaves falling confetti. Years cascade. Teens tower. Us graying graceful. Dramas. Breakups. Achievements. Met head-on. Love's lattice holding. Vanishings. Myth. Returns. Daily. Maturity draped over our Portland life like autumn vines. Heavy with fruit. Twisting, unpredictable. Theo, 16, shot upward into brooding artist territory, his bedroom a cave of half-finished canvases and playlists pulsing indie angst. Dates with Micah cycled, handholds at indie films, then silences broken by, it's complicated. We'd nod sage over cereal, Alex offering. Complicated's code for growing. Elena, 11, countered with whirlwind energy, soccer cleats muddying halls, debates on climate club fierce. Her first period arrived unceremonious, us fumbling pads and chocolate, tears turning to triumph. Teamwork. Careers crested. My memoir hit shelves. Echoes of return, climbing queer-lit charts. Tours pulling me coast to coast. Alex's adjunct empire expanded. Online courses, residencies in Maine forests. Ray integrated seamless. Weekly calls his ritual. Grandkids triumphs his boasts. But tides turned. Lena's custody went bitter, ex's appeals dragging. Stay strong, we zoomed, Elena piping strategies. Summer scorched scandals. Theo's party bust, cops at door, underage sips. Grounding followed, lectures laced love, choices echo. He absorbed, emerging humbler. Sorry, dads. Scared you. Forgive fast, Alex said, tools shared in shop redemption. Elena's echo, social media storm. Post of family pride pic, trolls swarming, indoctrination. Accounts locked, talks on digital armor. Fall faulted family, Ray's remarriage whim, widow from book club, whirlwind Vegas. Happy, Alex quizzed, drive to airport. Think so, gruff, but grin genuine. Winter warmed weddings, Ray's reception kitsch, us dancing awkward two-step. Elena's maid of honor bid denied. Too young. But flower toss caught her squeal. New Year's, teens abed, us reflecting, empty nest looming. I mused, fire crackle. Adventures await. His wink, plan sketched, cross-country carve tour. Spring sprouted separations, Theo's college apps, our ISD dream, Rhode Island pull. Proud, we chorused, essays edited tear-streaked. Elena's braces off, smile radiant. First real kiss. Girl from soccer, park bench confession blushing. Summer sundered sweet. Theo's acceptance letter, dorm tours east. Packing parties bittersweet. Micah's long distance sucks, echoed ours once. Send off dawn, airport hugs crushing. Call weekly. Alex gruffed, eyes damp. Love you, dads. Wave gone. House echoed hollow. Elena's weird summing it. Fall filled voids. Elena's middle school musical, lead in Wicked, green makeup glorious. My book sequel inked, Alex's exhibit Berlin bound. But grief's ghost, Clara's attic trove donated, letters lingering. One to us, watched you build empires of heart. Cherish, tears over tea. Winter wove wisdom, Ray's health scare redux, bypass, bedside vigils. Don't go soft, he joked, post-op. Learn from best, Alex retorted. Spring bloomed, Elena's activism, school walkout for trans rights, us chaperoning signs. Theo's freshman calls, classes killer, but free. Summer bridged, family reunion Oregon coast, Theo flying in, Micah too. Bonfires bonded, stories spiraling. Fall focused, Elena's high school apps, honors track. My tour rap, homecoming feast Alex's specialty, Coke Ovin charred but cherished. One eve, empty nest dinner, Thai takeout, loft quiet. Miss the noise, I admitted. Make our own. Slow dance, record spinning. Years quickened. Elena's prom glow, tux or gown. Both, hybrid fierce. Theo's internship NYC, sketches mailed. Ray's legacy gift, shop tools, engraved carve-on. Winter weddings anew. Theo's engagement, Micah, ring simple. Inspired by you, he toasted rehearsal. Ours echoed. Beachside, kids officiating swapped. Vows renewed, waves witness. Spring sowed surprises. Elena's gap year, volunteer abroad, Costa Rica calls. Solo. Worry. Trust, she echoed our mantra. Summer send-offs double. Flights booked, hugs airport prolonged. Fall folded full. Book 3 drafted, Alex's masterclass launch. Teens returned, transformed. Theo's wedding planning, Elena's eco-tales. Life's arc bent gentle now, dramas domestic. Knee scopes, nest eggs. One harvest hike, path leaf-strewn, hand in hand. Vanish, Alex teased. Never. Laughter, eternal. Decades distilled, grandkids toddling, Theo's twins, Elena's adopted son. Oak visits ritual, initials multiplied. Returns, innumerable. Love's drama, masterpiece.